So our first album is At Home in My Mind by Ella. And this was Karl's pick. So yeah, you can kick us off.
Yeah, so Ella McNamara, who's a singer-songwriter from Halifax in Yorkshire. So that's where the Ella comes from, basically her name in a Yorkshire accent, which I think is is brilliant. And yeah, I only really discovered her at the start of this year. I'd heard her name mentioned a few times, so I went along to catch her at Rockaway Beach in January, and it was one of those performances that just really blew me away. Like her voice, her like the quality and the like timeless nature of her songwriting. The great band that she had with her. It was just one of the highlights of the festival. So yeah, it was just when I saw this debut album was coming out, I had to jump on it, and yeah, glad I did. I think it will end up. I was talking about the Rat album, but I think this will definitely end up as one of my favorite debut albums of the year. Um, but when we get to December, I mean, God Help Me Now, the lead single and opening track, I think is just such a great way to kick things off. Just this anthem for young people living in this current time frame, which is just getting madder each day, it seems. And like the opening verse kind of captures that, or the opening verse slash chorus, where it's like, the world's on fire, I'm just getting drunk, the fear is real, tell me how to feel. And then you go into the second verse, which is all the girls I know who never make it home. When the lights are down, the boys they hide and they ache until they die. And it's like one of those songs that's like really anthemic, but also like if you dig into the lyrics, it's just really powerful, poignant songwriting. And for someone who's, still only 25 years old or coming up to 25 years old, just really mature. Um, and yeah, just really on top of her songcraft. And I think that's just a great way to start, and it just continues from there for me. Missing Kid has like this Bruce Springsteen, Sam Fender vibe going on, just really catchy, really triumphant. The Wheel is a similar vibe, but there's a bit of banjo in there, so it's got a bit more of like a country flair. Dream of Mine, already one of my favorite singles of the year. That was one that obviously it hadn't been released when she played at Rockaway Beach, but that stood out massively in the set, and I think the studio version here just really delivers. It's got that like great central riff to it, and like this really beautiful like hooky melody to the song. I just love everything about it. The World Is Not an Oyster, another one of the singles that's more like this big, ballad. Thought that one was actually a bit reminiscent of, you know, maybe some pop contemporaries like Billie Eilish or Olivia Rodrigo had like a bit of that coming on that track, I found. But yeah, for me, she saves like some of the best moments for that final run. Right at the end of the album, Disintegrate has got this like synth rhythm and like gentle piano that's like driving the track. It's much more minimal to like the other tracks that's come before it, but um I think it just fits right where it's placed in the album, and it fits the feeling and the vulnerability of the song. Um and then obviously in the back end it just erupts into Ella giving like these passionate cries at the end of that track. I mean, that's another one of my big favorites, that song. And then Lonelier in Heaven, just another really heartfelt track with a great melody, title track as well. Again, starts quite minimal, and then she sings her lungs out in the back half. It's got a great string section on there as well. And then before you know it, you're at Knowing, and it's just this really beautiful track to end on. It's just Ella, an acoustic guitar, and then this gorgeous bit of orchestration just comes in, and it really fills your headphones and tugs on your heartstrings, and it's just a real like subtle but beautiful way to end the record. So yeah, as you can tell, huge fan of this album. I think as debut albums go, this is right up there for me. I think it's hugely accomplished, really mature songwriting considering it's her first outing. I know she's released EPs and stuff before, but yeah, feels like she's really mastered her craft already. Production and mixing as well, I think, is excellent. Um, really make sure like the right things are elevated at each part of each song, and you really feel like the words coming through as well. So yeah, just really addictive collection of songs, instantly gratifying as well. It was one of those ones that as soon as I played it through, I just wanted to play it through again and again. So yeah, outstanding debut for me.
So, yep, strong vote of approval from Karl. Xenia, what did you make of at Home in My Mind?
Carl, I completely agree. I thought this was a really gorgeous record. Again, really, really well produced. I thought God Help Me Now, such a good opening for a debut album. Like, oh, God help me now, I'm writing an album. Thought it was quite nice. And then just other ones like The Wheel, so catchy, such an earworm in there. And then The World Is Not an Oyster, really gorgeous, really gorgeous ballads. Actually influenced by her parents' divorce. I was reading about it. And then I quite like Disintegrate because it felt a little bit different. And I think the good thing about an album sometimes is you sort of have a little bit of more of that creative license to sort of like, oh, I'm gonna try this out. I'm gonna try this out. There's a little bit more kind of electronic leaning, which which I found quite interesting, and maybe a sort of little hint at maybe what's to come in later records. And also, I mean, I had jotted down as well, also Sam really reminded me of Sam Fender, Holly Humberstone, sort of giving that sort of era, very much of the zeitgeist now. And yeah, I thought this was a really lovely record, actually. Yeah, there weren't really any tracks, so I was like, this could maybe go. This could go. Everything felt very considered, and it was a nice length. Yeah.
There we go. So some more praise for Ella with the debut record. I mean, the Sam Fender like reference is just so like present on this. I think most like Missing Kid is the one where it's just like, this is a Sam Fender song. How is this not already a Sam Fender song? So, but as you know, Karl, some of my reservations with Sam Fender on his last one. I think some of the same music reservations I might have on this. I think you've covered. Her lyricism is absolutely fantastic across the record. So I think the things which stand out the most is that and her vocals, which really saw. She is incredibly talented. I think the variety of the music could be greater, and the music in general. That's the thing I would say is the thing which lets this down. And where I think what you covered there, Xenia, about sort of going into a bit of a different vibe with some of the music would be beneficial, because I think she seems the kind of artist who can sing over anything is the impression I get, and there is when there are some of those more less kind of rock anthemic type songs, I think it sort of opens up a little bit more, and that's probably the parts I enjoyed the most. I mean, the standouts for me were, both of you have mentioned it, The Wheel, which I just like the kind of lolloping arrangement on that one. Trying to stay positive when life can get you down. There's a kind of a lot of that across the album, but it works really well there. And then followed up by Dream of Mine. That's the two sort of in a row which I enjoyed the most. And that was quite interesting about sort of in her relationship, and being in a heterosexual relationship she's in, and sort of but wanting to live the rock star life, and kind of having that insecurity about letting her partner know that this is what she wants to do. you know, yeah, we're talking about families or the kids you'd like, but I'm running for the chaos to be seen under the lights, she sings. So it just even the kind of construct behind that song I really enjoyed. Not really a perspective I particularly heard, but it's a really honest, you know, presume she spoke to her partner about this before putting it on the record. And yeah, just a really interesting perspective. And then sort of in the back end, the title track was the other one which stood out. Those three, I would say. And again, the lyricism, you know, this is somebody who can hold me and make me feel at home in my mind. Sometimes Phil might be crazy and everybody knows. I hide from all my feelings and crack some kind of joke. Yeah, very vulnerable, honest lyrics. And yeah, like I say, I think the talent on show is great. I think this is more, for me at least, like Promise as opposed from The Real Deal right now. And Xenia, you said there'd be none you would take off. I would probably take it off Yellow Light, to be honest. Like that was the only one I just
Yeah, okay, I can see that. I can see that.
yeah, I mean, just thought it was a bit insipid, and like stood out in that sense because none of the other tracks I would refer to in such a way. But yeah, really interesting. You know, Benjamin Francis Leftwich, I think, has production on a couple of these tracks as well. So you get his influence. On Disintegrate, I felt there was a slight Aphex Twin style, and she came across like Nilufer Yanya, who's one of my sort of favorite artists. So I think there's a long way to go. You know, I think Karl says she's 25, so you know, this is a very, very impressive sort of first statement of intent. And yeah, depending on how long we do this pod, and then I'm sure we'll hear these other efforts and sort of see where she goes musically and production wise as well. So there we go.